Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm a happy camper, and my channel is just about having a great time camping and the little tips and tricks that we can learn from each other in order to have a better camping experience. Um, so I'm doing a video on something that happened the other day, and I was not a happy camper when it happened. Imagine a scenario which, if you're doing any hot tent camping with a stove, one of the things you're going to hate is sometimes just smoke just coming into the tent. Um, But the other night, it was not only was the smoke just coming into the tent, I couldn't keep the fire going, and I wasn't sure what was going on. The wood was kind of dry, but what was happening was as the fire kept going, it would kind of peter out. Smoke would fill the tent. I'd open up the doors or the flaps, and but then I would do a better job starting the fire, and I know the wood that I'm burning is good. Um, when I say good, I mean dry, but smoke just kept coming into the tent. And well, I just finally said, hey, I got to get some sleep. I'm not going to deal with the smoke. So I just left the fire out, and I just kind of pulled everything out of the wood stove that I have here, which is, I have the Fire King. It's the one with I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it is the one that has windows on both sides. It's pretty nice. But anyway, I had no idea what was happening, and so the next day, in the daylight, I took a little bit better look, and I just want to explain something that happened. At the top of the chimney, the flue is, you have this, and what was happening is that these little holes where the smoke was supposed to come out, what was happening was they got clogged, and there, even though a little bit of air could get through, it wasn't enough to allow the smoke to get through, and it kind of pushed the smoke back out into the tent. That's why I could not keep a fire going. It was just not enough good air was in there, and this was clogged. And so one of the things I would recommend in order for a happy camping trip is that you have one of these steel brushes, and I have one sitting aside somewhere. Well, get one of those steel brushes. Before you start a fire, examine this, take a look at all the holes, make sure that it's not clogged. And this one here, you can see that some of the creosote, some of the buildup is happening around the holes. Take that steel brush and clean it out. And you might want to do this and check it every time before you start a fire, because I had just put up the stove. It was almost brand new, and within 2 days or 3 days, it was just pouring smoke into the room. And the other thing you got to keep in mind is that you want to use good wood. You don't want to use crap wood. Wet wood, green wood. You don't want wood that was just cut. You want it seasoned really well. And I was kind of cheating, okay? I'm going to go ahead and admit. The wood I had was dry, but I don't think it was proper wood for the wood stove. What was happening is that we're having work done in our basement. I had a lot of extra 2x4 scraps left over, so I was like, hey, I'll just burn out a wood stove. I don't think that wood was the proper wood to do that. I think it's like the 2x4s was out of white pine, and with a lot of sap in there. And so what was happening was all of that just come up in here and clogged us up. So number one, I don't think I was using the right wood. So in the future, I'm just going to use good, dry, seasoned wood, and I got plenty of that. And I was just didn't want to throw it away. I was just going to burn it in the wood stove. I'll burn it somewhere else in a fire pit. But at the same time, before you start a fire in your tent, if you don't want any smoke in your tent, double check and make sure that this is not clogged up. Number two is keep with your stove one of these little steel brushes, because not only is that good enough to get in here and clean these out if they get a lot of stuff in there, but it's also good to get these little holes, and clean those out. Anyway, that is just my tip. Don't want anybody to have the experience I had the other night. It was kind of really miserable, and I had all that smoke in the tent, and I couldn't get to sleep, and I thought I had it figured out, and I'd shut the tent door and get everything, all the smoke out. I kept having to open the tent doors to get all the smoke out. I thought I would have it cleared out. Nope, it just kept no matter what, more smoke came out into the tent. Anyway, double check your things. You don't want any dangerous situation with the buildup that could cause a fire or annoy the crap out of you with a lot of smoke in the tent. So anyway, hope you learned something. If you did, hit like, subscribe, whatever. Hey, leave a comment if you have any tips on how to prevent smoke into your tent whenever you're using a hot tent, a tent stove. Leave a comment below. I'm trying to gather a bunch of these tips together because I'd like to do another video, testing out a couple of stoves and which one is better for, not putting smoke out into the tent. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed and liked it, and hope you learned something. Thanks. Happy Camper out.